It's Final Friday.
Your first pick is in the category Someone You Just Started Following, and you said Postmodern Jukebox, which is on YouTube at Postmodern Jukebox. They're also on Twitter and Instagram at PMJOfficial, and you can find their music on Apple Music, Spotify, and more. I'm pretty sure I'd seen one of their videos before and I loved it, but I forgot to subscribe and then I kind of forgot they existed. So first off, thank you for resurfacing Postmodern Jukebox into my life. They're amazing. Please explain what they do.
Yes, resurfacing something that was huge 5 or 6 years ago that for some bizarre reason, even though I'm online all the time, I don't know how I miss Postmodern Jukebox. I feel like I'm like to talk about them now is like, have you heard Serial? I wonder who the real killer was, you know?
Have you heard of Homestar Runner? It's a school movie.
Yeah. But anyway, I discovered them during the pandemic, and when I was just very sad and depressed, and I think pre-vaccine days when I was just, almost never leaving the house, I seemed to be the last person on earth to discover Postmodern Jukebox, and I just fell in love with this thing. So they basically, what they do is that they take songs, contemporary pop songs, and reimagine them as songs from other eras. And they do an incredibly good job of figuring out what era you would put that song. And in some ways, almost you realize, oh, that's actually what that song really is. At its heart, that actually is the genre it was. It just got updated to our contemporary. They've discovered that most rap songs, for some reason, work best in a 1920s style. And there's a Gangster's Paradise that just is hilarious. There's also an Ice Ice Baby that's really funny, too.
Oh, my gosh.
There's also a Bad Romance as a Gatsby-style swing with tap dancing. Wayne Brady does Thriller as a 1930s Cab Calloway song. And you're like, oh, my God, that is what Thriller is. It's totally a Cab Calloway song. You can imagine like Betty Boop, And then they did the Spice Girls Wannabe as an Andrews Sisters song.
Wait, Andrews Sisters? What does that mean?
Oh, you know the Andrews Sisters? Okay,
no.
So they're like the original girl group from the 1940s. You've heard the Andrews Sisters. They sang in this incredible harmony. I went through a big like 1940s phase once, like many, I don't know. It was like this stupid hipster phase I went into. But anyway, there's some amazing 1940s music. And the Andrews Sisters were just like, they just had this incredible syncopation between them. You've heard them. Like once you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, that's the sound of the 40s. That's the sound of like World War, the girl group of World War II. So to have the Spice Girls reimagined as the original girl group is brilliant. It's totally brilliant. And the amazing thing is these songs almost never sound anachronistic. That's what kind of blows me away. And they do a little costuming to sort of, even though it's obviously people now dressed up in, it's like if you go to a Gatsby party, you never think, oh my God, I feel like I'm in the 20s. You're more like, well, I guess you dug that out of your closet. It looks pretty good.
I don't know. Have you seen the Old Town Road video they did? They reimagined it as kind of like a bluesy, I guess from the 20s. And they hired I think a Broadway singer, like someone who's been on Broadway and who's been like a proper blues singer to do it. And she is incredible. Like honestly, I might prefer it to the original. And then I scroll down and Lil Nas X himself is in the comments saying like, wow, this is great.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many times I'm like, that actually holds its own. It's not like, oh, haha, they redid that song in this other genre. You're like, oh my God. And for some reason, it just brought me so much warmth and happiness and joy when some of the most, especially in 2020, the second half of 2020 was rough as it is, but the second half of 2020 was really rough. And what got me through it was Postmodern Jukebox.
Yeah. How did you discover them? Like were you just kind of looking for channels like this that were providing a twist on music? Was it kind of an accidental, just stumbled upon it somehow?
I stumbled upon it. I love surfing YouTube. I know people get creeped out by algorithms that know them really well, but I'm like, please, get to know me. Why else would I waste my time on your site if you don't? And YouTube knows me so well. It's just like, why, yes, I did want to watch that scene of when Scotty met Picard on Next Generation. How did you know? It's just weird how it seems to always know what I'm in the mood for. And so I just sometimes they just cycle through all the time. I love I can surf YouTube for a while. And it just popped on YouTube one day. I don't know why. Oh, you know what I think it was? They did Pinky in the Brain, the theme song of Pinky in the Brain.
Ooh.
as a 1940s kind of swing, which it really is. That actually is what it is.
Yeah.
And they got the two original voice actors of Pinky and the Brain to appear. It was done in like a fake nightclub, and they got them. They were just in the background as like waiters, and I didn't even notice them until the camera then zoomed in on them, and they did their characters, but as if they were, they were human waiters, and then they zoomed back out, and then the woman continued with the theme song. I think that's how I discovered them initially.
Oh my gosh. So like, I'm wondering about the use of anachronistic music in movies and in TV shows. Like, does that pull you out of something when you're watching something and the music sounds inappropriate for the era? Like, I as an example, I have this really weird specific memory of the X-Men prequel First Class, which is set in the 1960s. And there's a point where they just have a needle drop of a Gnarls Barkley song from the 2010s. And I don't know why my brain chose to retain that information, that there's this specific needle drop in this movie from 10 years ago. But I remember in the theater being like, why? I don't know.
I agree.
Does that affect you?
Yeah. Well, it depends how it's done. If it's done haphazardly, it really bothers me. If the music is mostly of its time or just sort of orchestrated, score, and then they throw in an anachronistic song, that really throws me out of it. But if it's done intentionally, like the Sofia Coppola and Marie Antoinette movie, or the Baz Luhrmann Great Gatsby movie, if it's done intentionally throughout the whole movie as a stylistic choice, I don't have a problem with it. It can be really fun. I kind of enjoy that kind of thing. But yeah, if it's done just kind of randomly, haphazardly, one out of the only song in the whole movie or the only moment in the movie that's anachronistic, it completely bothers me.
Yeah, in the comments for basically every Postmodern Jukebox video, there's someone saying, someone needs to make a movie with these arrangements of these modern songs in the era-appropriate time, in the 40s or wherever. And I cannot agree more. I mean, it's just, it feels so right for that. Yeah, totally. For the longest time, I became obsessed with trying to figure out exactly where they were. Their production values got better. Clearly, it started out in like some guy's basement, but it was like eventually they got HD cameras. They got, they go on tour too. Yeah.
I think they're back on tour now.
They are.
I wanted to see them, but it was sold out, the show here in Brooklyn.
That was Postmodern Jukebox, which you can find on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, and more.